What was the first form of social welfare?
Well, dates back to the 1400s, and they were called almshouses, and these were poorhouses where people could go to get services for um, food and housing. Um, they were rough houses. I mean, they were houses donated by community people who, um, so they were like houses that were pretty much in bad neighborhoods that people didn't want anymore. So they donated them, and people used them as a place to go um, to get very much needed services.
Why was the social welfare system created?
Yeah, well, it was created to organize resources and focus attention on specific problems. These problems range from physical and verbal abuse, discrimination, poverty and unemployment, and immigration and mental illness.
What was the overall intention of the welfare program?
It was to create and organize resources and focus attention on those problems.
So, with this intended purpose of welfare program, what were some of the ranges from the welfare program or organizations and programs?
Well, we can discuss institutional, residual, and developmental views of the social welfare services and assistance. Um, the institution would be the government, and the government had um, uh, they played a part in how monies got distributed to those in need. The residual uh, the residual the institutional and developmental views were residual view was based on the idea that government should play a limited role in the distribution of social welfare. So um, they would let people because they felt that most of the people could go out and get a job and work and take care of their families, but then there was a limited amount of people who could not, for whatever reason, go out, get jobs, and take care of their families. And they depended on possibly other family members, churches, different organizations. So the government stepped in and allotted some monies to help these people out. Under the developmental group, they offered alternative approaches that appeared to appeal to liberals and the conservatives and the general public. This approach was defined as a process of planned change, and it was designed to promote the well-being of the population as a whole in conjunction with a dynamic process of economic development.
So, with that being said, what are the democratic views about social welfare?
Well, the Democratic view is more of a liberal view. They feel that if we help these people, then they can start to help themselves. So if we educate these people, they can start to help themselves and eventually get on their feet and go on and do for themselves and their families.
So, if we have that perspective about the Democrats, what about the Republican views about social welfare?
While the Republicans felt that why help them, they should be able to do it on their own, and they didn't want to give free money away to help everybody, to help anybody in need. They just wanted to. They felt to put everybody out there, and you should go be able to find a job and do what needs to be done in order to take care of your family.
So, based on your research and your experiences, what view do you agree with and why?
Well, I kind of agree with the Democratic view. I mean, majority of the people can go out and help themselves and take care of themselves, but we do have a small population of people who cannot do that. Um, uh, we've got the disabled, we've got the children, we've got the elderly, and all of these populations do end up in situations where they cannot take care of themselves independently.
What are some of the approaches that you disagree with and why?
Well, I disagree with the fact that the Republican views and that they feel that everybody's out to take care of their own selves in this world because of discrimination, because of immigration and unemployment and all the different uh, things that can happen out there. Not everybody can overcome and be able to do for themselves um, in a way that would be appropriate for, and that's just for the minimums.
So, with that being said, what do you think is needed to make the social welfare system a more effective program?
Well, I feel that we need to we need to the government needs to allocate monies to facilitate more programs for educating people, and we also should help those. We should continue to help those in need in what they do. Um, we also need to trying to think through community resources, through neighborhood resources, through individual resources. We need to come up with ideas of how to continually improve the system as the way it is.